Okay, yet another Afghanistan match, yet another thrashing if you look at it. We thought that the win against Pakistan, the win against England was all a fluke. Dominance against Sri Lanka was a fluke. No. 7 wickets and in just the 32nd over. Meaning that they have now achieved 2 things. One, semi-final qualification is still very much in their hands as they move to 8. So 3 teams in the points table now are tied on 8 points. The only thing is, how much has Afghanistan's net run rate improved because of this? Because I think it might have come to the positive. It's just that how much we don't know. Because currently,
No.
it hasn't. Minus 0.330. So that's why if you look at it, plus 0.484, plus 0.9.
No, but it has improved a lot.
Yeah, from minus 7 point something.
Minus 0.7 to now minus 0.3. And has dumped Pakistan to 6th position now. And tomorrow they are playing. But again, the Hema, Jaya, Rekha trio of Afghanistan do it again. Rahmat, Hasmat, Asmat. 50 from Rahmat, 56 from Hashmat, 31 unbeaten from Azmat.
Actually, if you look at the table now, Afghanistan have gone ahead of Pakistan and they've played exactly the same number of games.
Correct.
But they have 2 more points. But even if you take a look at Afghanistan's campaign so far, they've been the far better team in terms of performance, and I'm comparing them to Pakistan because Afghanistan's big wins have come against Pakistan, have come against England, the defending champion, and have come against Sri Lanka. The only easy kind of game you could say to that extent has been Netherlands. So that's the only easy win that they've got. On the other hand, Pakistan do not have a big win under their belt. All their wins have been, against teams that were qualifiers. So you won against Netherlands, you won against Sri Lanka, which also qualifier, and then you won against Bangladesh, which has been having a horrific World Cup.
Yep.
So overall also, in terms of their performance, Afghanistan looked better, and I think the best way to really measure the performances is when they came head to head, and guess who won? That was Afghanistan. So, while Pakistan and fans in Pakistan are hoping for their team to qualify and are treating the New Zealand game as a virtual quarterfinal, but truth be told, Afghanistan are actually mathematically in a better position to qualify than even Pakistan. So if I had to give a probability of qualification, I think I'll put New Zealand 1 in terms of probability as to the games remaining and how many points they can get to as number 1, Afghanistan at number 2, and Pakistan at number 3 in terms of chances of qualifying.
Yep, indeed. I mean, see, now you may say the tough games for Afghanistan are unfortunately coming up now. Australia on 7th in Mumbai and South Africa unfortunately on the 10th in Ahmedabad. Win any one of that and hope that New Zealand lose to either of Pakistan or Sri Lanka, or ideally both. Then and only then Afghanistan have an outside chance of making it to the semi-final. Because the net run rate of New Zealand is big enough, and Afghanistan, supposing they achieve this kind of a same win, assuming you get a minus 0.5 boost, still won't be enough. And you're not getting these comfortable wins against the likes of Australia and South Africa. Let's be very logical about it. It's not coming into that situation. So New Zealand, because that net run rate, because they won against Afghanistan and they won against England so handsomely.
Correct.
That is the reason why their net run rate did not suffer that big a loss as it happened when they lost by over, I think 190 runs they lost by to South Africa. So that's why it's going to be 190 runs they lost to South Africa. So it hasn't impacted them that much. But yeah, Afghanistan have done what they had to do. They have won 4 games now in the ICC ODI World Cup. Combine it with 2015 and 2019. Combined, if you say, a total of 18 to 19 matches, they had just won 1. Now in 7, they have won 4. It's a phenomenal achievement for Afghanistan in more ways than one. And maybe if they don't reach the semi-final, 2 major instances. The one against Bangladesh, they lost that. And the catches that they dropped against New Zealand and the victory margin, that they may be on 10, even New Zealand can be on 10, but that net run rate, I don't see them overhauling it. It's too vast.
Yeah, the only way actually for Afghanistan would be if they can eke out wins in both those two matches. But again, Australia and South Africa.
I am saying Australia in Mumbai for Afghanistan. Let's be realistic. Tough. Not happening.
Yeah.
Okay. So, barring a minor miracle, not happening. Okay. So, 8 games, 8 points for Afghanistan. Final game versus South Africa
Ahmedabad.
in Ahmedabad could happen. Could happen. Depends on the kind of pitch that you get there. We've seen a few games there. It can assist spin bowlers. It's not been a high scoring ground as we expected it to be. A bigger ground as well where spinners can benefit. And if they get lucky, in the sense South Africa are chasing, where they tend to panic, as they've panicked twice. Once against Netherlands, they've lost to a relatively lesser known side in the tournament. So there is a precedent there. And you're playing there. So if I were Afghanistan, I'd actually, if I was going to hedge my bets, I'm going to fancy my chances in that South Africa game, hoping that I get lucky with the toss and I bat first, South Africa chasing, and I get my spinners into the game. Again, Klaasen I know is good, Markram to an extent is good against spinners, but other batters can sometimes be. Quinton is in fine form, but if there's one person that can get him out early is a spinner. I've seen that in the IPL. A lot of teams use spinners, off spinners, and Afghanistan have two really good one in Mujib as well as Nabi.
And a left armer.
Yeah. So I think that I wouldn't put it past Afghanistan to finish with 10 points. And in that case, then
for that to happen, New Zealand must lose both their games, and Pakistan doesn't win against England.
No, so it is possible that all three teams finish on 10 points mathematically, and then it boils down to the net run rate. It's as simple as that. I know on net run rate terms, that is why I put New Zealand as the number one of making it, because of their net run rate. And I think between the two games that New Zealand is playing, there's a good chance they win both. If not two, at least one I'm guessing they should win. So which is going to put them at 10 points with a better net run rate. Then Pakistan, which will need to win both games to be at 10. And New Zealand might still have a better net run rate. Afghanistan may miss out on net run rate, but I know it's an outside chance, but I think they can beat South Africa.
Yeah, let's see, because that is the second last day of the league games. 10th, then you have a double header on 11th, Australia, Bangladesh, then Pakistan, England.
So it's not the second last, because 12th is the
12th. Yeah, I forgot the 12th. India, Netherlands.
How can you forget?
But what do you see happening tomorrow?
Tomorrow, man.
New Zealand, Pakistan.
I hope the rain doesn't play spoil sport, and I think New Zealand, this is their best chance to stage a recovery. If they lose to Pakistan, I think game over for them.
What's the injury update? That's the most important thing for New Zealand. They've already got one replacement coming in. Jamieson is coming for Matt Henry. So, but I don't know whether he'll play in the squad or not.
So, Mark Chapman, he had a calf injury. So, he practiced at the NCA. Williamson, who had a thumb fracture after recovering from a knee surgery, he was also practicing in the nets.
So, are they both
at
available?
At the NCA, yeah.
Are they both available?
Don't know.
But that's a good sign that for a Williamson who had a broken thumb, if he's batting, if he's doing nets
at the NCA,
that's an encouraging sign. If not the next game, maybe the game after that he plays.
Yeah.
And if Chapman's also practicing, could be a good sign.
Lockie Ferguson is expected to regain fitness because his Achilles injury is not as serious as we had expected it to be.
That's a big boost. Big boost. So a lot of people wondering why is it that New Zealand with a great start have really come down, because Lockie is one of the major reasons. They missed him half a game and then the next game completely. So that's been one of the major reasons that they missed him. Him coming back is going to be crucial for that.
James Neesham, he had suffered a blow to the wrist in the game against South Africa, but his injury is also it's not affected the bone, it's just a bruise. So even he's also fit, but I think he will go out because Neesham with the ball, unfortunately doesn't
go. Let's try and put a New Zealand team best case scenario. Best case scenario, let's say all of these guys who are practicing are available. Then you make the team. You got Devin Conway and Williamson.
Rachin
Rachin will
Ravindra.
open.
Okay, so Devon Conway, Rachin Ravindra, Williamson.
Williamson, yes.
That's 3.
Yeah, Mitchell, Latham stay at 4 and 5.
Okay.
Phillips at 6. Santner remains at 7. Then if we have to look at it...
Chapman?
No, actually, Chapman will probably be 7.
7. Okay, Santner at 8.
Yeah.
Okay. Santner at 8, and then you've got Bolt, Saudi,
And Lockie.
Jameson,
No,
or Lockie.
Lockie.
You're
Yeah.
playing Lockie ahead of Jameson.
Bolt, Saudi, Lockie, your 3 fast bowlers,
Yeah.
2 spinners in Rachit Ravindra as well as
Santner.
Santner, and going with the batting lineup with Chapman at 7. That now again makes New Zealand a lethal team.
Correct.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Or if you want to take the punt, depending on the condition, because Sodi is not on the game. Each Sodi, the leg spinner, remember Pakistan don't play leg spin that well.
But why would you want to do that?
Exactly, why
If
now?
all the guys that I just spoke about are available, then you go with it. Unless there's a bit of an issue, you don't.
No, I
But
don't think so.
Yeah. Because everybody is recovering from the injury, but Williamson is still dodgy. I don't think he will be coming back. I think mostly on the 9th, he should come back for that game. That's the last league game anyway. And potentially you're playing the final. Let's see how it goes.
But the big other plus for Pakistan is the form that Fakhar Zaman has shown, because they actually needed a batter to set the tempo, and that's one thing that they were missing. With now Abdullah Shafiq being the guy who's technically correct, can bat longer innings, can be the anchor, and then Fakhar firing the way he is, I think that then makes Pakistan a whole different proposition now. Rest of the batting, with Babar, Rizwan and Iftikhar later.
South
Coming, Short Shakil as well. And then the bowlers now, with Shaheen Shah Afridi coming back into form. Haris Rao picked up a few wickets. Osama Mir, I think they'll played the last game as well. So I guess they will.
Mohammad Wasim Jr.
Yeah, they'll play him. Looking good, but I guess, if you look at the 2 squads, even if you were a bit split on that, the fact that it's being played in Bangalore, a small ground where you can get a lot of runs, is the kind of ground that favors New Zealand more than Pakistan. Pakistan would prefer a tricky sort of a ground where 70 to 70, 80 type of
Yes.
that suits them up the alley completely.
Correct.
For New Zealand, if it's a 330, 340 game, it's more New Zealand territory, I would
Yep.
say. So in terms of venue, falling into one team's favor, I think it's favoring
It
New
is.
Zealand.
But again, the problem is New Zealand, they are so low on momentum. And if there's one team that can exploit it, it's Pakistan. Past records do play a big role. And remember, New Zealand last victory against Pakistan was about 12 years ago in a World Cup. And prior to that was 28 years ago. 1983 they had won.
But records don't matter.
I'm not.
South
not
Africa will disagree. They have been breaking each and every jinx that has been there for about 2 decades in this World Cup.
That's not so much records as much as it becomes a mental block, and that's what happened with
They
South
are-
Africa.
they
But then
eradicating-
South Africa will agree, not disagree. I said records don't matter.
Yeah.
And if they've been breaking records, then they'll agree with me.
Yeah, because see, they beat
Because
New
they're
Zealand.
saying it's just
Just
a
a
number.
number.
Yeah, but some trends are continuing. For example, Sri Lanka didn't lose to England at all in this 21st century so far in World Cups. They won 5 consecutive. Pakistan, on the other hand, even the worst Pakistan team that were there, the bowling lineup in 2019, they won against New Zealand.
I just hope that, by the way, Bangalore will have much better weather than we have in Delhi NCR.
No, but it's better in the sense that it's not smoggy, but definitely very cloudy.
But 100 AQI is far better than 700 where.
But I mean, 100 AQI with plenty of clouds.
Rain will actually make the AQI even better.
Please send some of the clouds here, please.
Please, yes. But I think today actually it's a little better outside.
No,
today.
but now if the rain comes and that will adversely affect Pakistan,
Yeah.
not so much New Zealand,
Yeah.
then I hope likes of Hasan Raza don't come on TV and say that BCCI
Put
got some
seeds in the
satellite
cloud.
and put seeds like Chinese technology and ensured that rain happens. And
Exactly.
I just hope.
But with Pakistan, I really don't know. What do they think? I just don't know. Oh. But if it's rain affected, advantage Afghanistan. Because New Zealand will have 9, Pakistan will only get to 9. Even
No, but New Zealand can still get to 11. They
For
win
that,
their last game
yeah.
versus Sri Lanka. They get to 11. New Zealand are very comfortably placed that way.
then
Actually,
Australia will have to lose all their games.
the only team that are really reliant on other results right now are Pakistan.
Yeah.
Only team. Afghanistan have their fate in their own hands. So do New Zealand. So do Australia.
Yeah. See, tomorrow if Australia lose, then their 2 games against Bangladesh and Afghanistan assume a lot more importance.
Correct.
That is the only thing to look forward to next week. Otherwise, if New Zealand beat Pakistan, mostly second and third spots are sealed.
I can't even believe you're doubting Australia. They are going to sail through.
Against England.
They'll beat no, even if they lose, let's say. Next games, Bangladesh and Afghanistan. Afghanistan at Wankhede. I don't think they'll have a problem. They'll cruise. I mean, 12 points minimum I see them get to. So they are not going to be part of this, permutation combination that is happening with New Zealand and Pakistan. All it's done is like kept the tournament alive and kept the excitement alive, which is good for us.
Yep.
But not so much for
the other teams.
Yeah.
Because see, everybody except for Australia played and England have played 6 games. So tomorrow you're going to see the second last double-header day. Because on 4th and 11th there are double-header days. And after that, the league stages end on the 12th. India versus Netherlands. So congratulations to Afghanistan, 4th straight if I'm not mistaken.
Is it 4th straight?
Yeah, I think it is the 4th straight.
Oh, you're right. No,
they lost to New Zealand.
Correct.
So they won 4 out of the last 5.
So they won 3 straight.
Yeah, 3 straight.
Pakistan, Sri Lanka, Netherlands. Yeah.
Wow. And they're right there in that scramble.
Correct.
Proud moment indeed for them. So let's see how it goes. So tomorrow, it's a double header day.
And not just any kind, it's one which has a lot of stakes riding on it. Let's be very fair.
So Mr. Shekhar is like saying, Gul left Afghanistan 4 to 5 months ago and left an impression on bowling till today. Should Ajay Jadeja be given an extension just to further enhance game awareness? I think he can. I mean, is he on a part-time contract with the Afghanistan cricket team, Ajay Jadeja?
Yeah, I think it's only a World Cup contract.
It's like a consultancy type thing, basically.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like what Lalchand Rajput was to Zimbabwe.
Yes. I thought you were talking about Lalchand Rajput with the Afghanistan.
No, he was
that
there
was
for
a
coach.
Yeah, that was a more long-term contract, not so much now. But you don't know how the team does. But what I'll try and do is, once the tournament is done, maybe get Ajay on Sports Today
Wow.
to speak to us. Then we'll know more details.
Or he'll come here? No.
I don't know if he's in Delhi. Can try.
Okay.
If he's in Delhi, it can try.
He does stay in Delhi, no? He's
no, he stays in multiple places.
Okay. But Gul, Afghanistan...
It's not like normal pauper like us. It's not a...
But I don't know where Umar Gul had a big impact on their spin bowling thing. I thought Afghanistan, their spin bowlers they didn't need anybody else at that point. I don't know. Ashish Dhar, New Zealand is clever. Peak initially, scrape through semis and then play their top game in knockouts. Look at 2019.
I like that comment, Ashish. I like that comment.
They do that. They know 1992 was a disaster. We'll do a reverse of 1992. Every single time. Even 2015, by the way.
They are like they say in Mumbai language, Eda bankar peda khate.
I know.
No, nice guys. No, we are struggling. And quietly.
Even 2019, people try to forget they made it on the basis of a
net run rate.
Net run rate.
15 was dominant, won everything,
Finally you lost.
Actually, they kind of are putting in that kind of dominance with India doing at home, if you look at it.
And New Zealand have that MI habit. Actually, no, MI start poorly.
Yeah.
These guys start well.
Pakistan or MI. They start poorly and then they peak in the knockouts.
If they make it.
Yeah, if they make it. So, okay, Baban is giving us a clarification. Nick sir, I was just joking in my previous super chat. I sent. Doubting your analysis to see your response, and you did with very politely to the questioning your job. That's what Iyer should have done.
Good point.
Baman, we like you, yeah. Why I said politely is because I don't take offense.
Exactly.
This is not personal. Nothing is personal. If you didn't like it and you think you can do better, great. As I said, I'll surely be watching you. You start, and I would be. But thank you so much for your comments.
Thank you.
As always.
But why does he type like Nasir Jamshed? I really don't know. So,
one question you can take.
King D, will the Monday Sri Lanka versus Bangladesh match get cancelled? How will they play in gas? The Bangladesh team cancelled practice today.
Yeah, they didn't have practice.
Because of the pollution.
That's a good question. We must do an investigation on that, because I agree this is not the weather to play, and if a team says they don't want to play, I would have no reason to force them to do that. They'd have all the right to not play. This is not the weather that you need to be doing any sort of exertion.
Pollution, Delhi, Sri Lanka.
Yes, I remember.
17.
Yeah, at
was
Firoz
even
Shah
terrible.
Kotla, yes.
Who was it? I remember, was it 20 or 21 where a team had come to India? 21 probably.
England as well had an
Yeah,
issue.
yeah.
England had an
And Sri Lanka too. Those images of Sri Lankan players wearing masks and playing, that didn't do much
Russian
to
Dickwell,
India's
I think,
image
puked,
as
I
such.
think.
In fact, it did a lot of disservice to India's image as a country, and I think, which is why I say pollution is a serious issue no matter where you stay. The only thing I'll say is quite often it becomes a Delhi problem, but it's not a Delhi problem
Anymore.
because all the VIP stay in Delhi, the media stays there, so that gets highlighted. It's actually a North India problem. By the way, you must see today the English team is in Ahmedabad and Ben Stokes is wearing a mask and then he's practicing. I don't think that's a great advertisement to any country.
Before the game against Sri Lanka, he was seen in practice using an inhaler.
Yes, because the English team have been using inhalers. Because you've had a situation, I remember Pat Cummins, when he reached Dharamshala, the first press conference that he had, the first thing he said, it's nice to be here in clean air.
Yep.
So this is the kind of impression. Yes, we are the biggest cricketing powerhouse in terms of the money that we churn out, in terms of our organization, everything else, and the way we're playing our cricket as well in cricketing terms. All of that is great, but it doesn't reflect very well on the country, and which is why I say the day we look beyond it being a Delhi problem and realize it's a North India problem, because I was just looking at the AQI charts, the entire, so I mean the states that are affected, Haryana is as affected as Delhi is, all cities across Haryana, Uttar Pradesh, a lot of the state in Uttar Pradesh, we are in UP right now technically, it's the same. In fact, even further down in UP, it's bad. Rajasthan gets
bad.
that. So, parts of Punjab are in bad shape. So, it's an India problem. So, till we don't look at it at a national level and keep, looking at it as a local level of a Delhi issue, we're never going to find a solution. And this is like an emergency where the entire national, think tank, the whole government, everyone has to put their heads together and find a solution. It's not a great thing that's happening.
And both both Bangladesh and Sri Lanka face the brunt of Delhi's pollution issues. I think when Bangladesh won a T20I for the first time against India, it happened in Delhi. And even the Bangladesh players were really, absolutely mind blown by what happened. And that time the AQI had crossed about 800 at the Arun Jaitley Stadium. 800, are you kidding me? Sports warrior, regular watcher of sports today. I am a Delhi resident, frustrated by pollution. Please talk to Harbhajan, send a message that people are dying.
I think he's already tweeted, but what is it that Harbhajan Singh can do? So Rajya Sabha MP once I said this has to be dealt at the highest level. It can't be one tweet, two tweets, all of that's not going to help. And I hope all of you are mindful it. I mean, we need to find ways, and we keep putting it on the authorities. Even as citizens, we need to find ways. How do we curb it? In our own lifestyle, need to find ways. It is, I mean, not a it can lead to disastrous consequences. Like, I don't want to use the word doomsday, which is why I was thinking for a few seconds. It's not that yet, but you are heading there. So you got to realize, do you take a call now, fix things now, or just let it carry on till you reach that end of the world?
That's the situation's been happening. It's not been improving for the last 5 to 7 years, in fact.
You know what people don't realize? I'll tell you why it doesn't happen. What happens is if I get hurt while playing and I hurt my ankle, it pains, right? So I attend to it immediately because it's hurting.
Yeah.
If you get another ailment like a viral fever, you attend to it immediately. If you get even a serious thing, whatever, jaundice, typhoid, you attend to it because it's happening that time. You can see the symptoms. This bad air and pollution is equally a killer.
Yep.
Just that you do not see the repercussions immediately. It happens gradually. There is enough data to prove that if you were to breathe this air for 5 years on the trot, there are greater chances of you having heart issues.
Yeah.
Various other problem. So you have heart attacks and people dying and so on and so forth. Because you can't find it or you can't correlate it immediately to pollution, you do not think that that's important. But for all you know, pollution could have been the biggest contributor for that person having reached that state. Because there's no direct relation, we don't see, but we forget that that is one of the highest contributor in other health issues. I mean,
it's not looking good.
Yeah.
And the weather situation is going to be like this for the next week at least.
yep.
And it's getting worse even after 3-4 days later, because I don't want to get into that, so I'm worried.
On that gloomy note,
yeah,
we
smoggy
call it a
note,
night. We'll be back tomorrow. We are at the mid-inning show of the game that is between Pakistan and New Zealand.
Yep.
So that's the first time we'll be there. Kind of an early start, but we look forward to your company on Sports Today. It's an action-packed Saturday.
Yep.
So your one-stop destination.
Yep. And India will be practicing in
Kolkata. We'll bring you the latest from there.
And the press conference will be held, so join us for that.
Bye-bye.
See you.